Looks like we are going to have a full house today. Welcome, everyone. So I'm Martina Welkoff. Hey, everybody. And I'm a managing partner at the WXR Fund. We're a venture fund that invests in women-led companies in spatial computing, so VR, AR, and AI. We love partnering with fantastic companies like Verizon and Altspace to come together and help everyone to learn and network and amplify the voices of the fantastic diverse voices that we have leading this industry. And here on stage with me, I have Andrew Zarek from Verizon 5G Labs. And he's going to tell you a little bit about what they're doing at 5G Labs and the event today.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. My name is Andrew Zarek. I'm head of ecosystem partnerships on Verizon's 5G Lab team. So a bit about the 5G Labs and where we sit within Verizon. We're essentially Verizon's 5G innovation team. So we manage a set of physical labs all over the world where we have live 5G environments and we explore what 5G might unlock a wide range of industries. So my team specifically, though, we manage all event-led activities across all the 5G labs. But more importantly than that, and equally as interesting, is to figure out what are the unique capabilities of some of these new VR platforms and to think about how those new capabilities will allow virtual events to unfold in new and different ways. So we're really excited about that as an opportunity, and we hope you join us for future events as well. And we have some really interesting companies here for you, 5 different companies, a couple of which have already worked with Verizon and have already actively tested in our 5G labs. So if you have questions about what it's like to use 5G and what 5G might unlock for maybe things you guys are thinking about, find the people with the 5G shirts or the Verizon shirts, or make note of some of the avatars that present here today and go network with them after this. So thank you guys again for being here. And Martina, I think that's it for me.
Awesome. Thanks, Andrew. And you'll also have a chance. So we've got little networking stations set up throughout the space. And Verizon is right out in the front where you entered. So if you want to learn more about 5G Labs, there'll be some Verizon folks out in that little patio area afterwards to network. You'll also get a chance to hear from and network with all of these fantastic folks up here on the screen. So today we've got 5 entrepreneurs and technologists building 5 different products in virtual worlds and digital twins. And I think we can all appreciate more than ever just how important the work is that they're all doing. And they each have kind of a different perspective on the industry, the specific sector that they're working in, the problems that they're solving. And there's some really exciting future on the horizon that we're gonna get to glimpse into today. So I'm gonna hand it on over to Ashley Crowder from VNTANA, our first presenter. And Ashley, if you want to come up on stage, we'll get started.
Awesome. Hello. Can everybody hear me? We realized that nobody had the right 3D files at all. It was this painful process. And so we ended up building an automation pipeline to easily take existing manufacturing design files and immediately create 3D web, AR, and VR ready assets. So can you go to the next slide? And if I'm in the way, I can move over here. Let's see. There we go. So why is 3D important? We work with a lot of brands and fashion companies today, and just having a 3D version on your website has proven to double conversion rates. So especially in the environment we're in today, everyone is looking to say, how can we improve our e-commerce site? How can we give consumers the same in-store experience without the store today? And having a 3D asset is one way to do that. If you then take that 3D model one step further and use augmented reality to place it in your environment, companies like House have seen an 11x increase in conversion rate. To date, it's been really time consuming and expensive to create these types of 3D assets. You know, it can take about a week of time. On average, could cost about $2,500, very much dependent on complexity and real time. So at VNTANA, we've helped automate a lot of this process. So we've gotten it down to be able to take that existing manufacturing design file and immediately make it usable across web, AR, and VR in a matter of minutes instead of weeks. And because of that, we've been able to bring the cost down to less than $4 per app per month. How does this work? We really tried to create this one-stop shop. So the cloud-based service, you can see this original file is massive. It's a design file, it's almost 200 megabytes, 8 million triangles. Like this all stays from scratch. Trying to pull that in here. And so you can just upload that to the cloud. Our smart algorithm compresses it down to almost 1% of the original size. So it's 3.5 megabytes, but it still looks great, and immediately converts it into all of the file types you need for web, AR, and VR. It allows you to immediately distribute it. For web, it's simply copy and paste an iframes. So if any of you have ever used Vimeo for videos, it works the same way and has built-in AR. Or we also have a Unity plugin, so you can immediately pull assets directly from the cloud CMS into your Unity scene and build seamlessly. The next slide. So these are all the different file or programs we generally work with. So if we're working with retail companies, they're usually designing in Clo, OptiText, or Browseware. It's more industrial. It's AutoCAD, SolidWorks, Rhino is what a lot of jewelry companies use. And then you kind of have these standard design files like Maya, 3ds Max, and Adobe Substance. So we can ingest all of those and then again, compress and give you what you need for web, AR, and VR. So these Dig hats in the corner actually are from our software, which is cool. So Dig is one of the people at the LA Verizon 5G studio. And so we helped create these 3D hats for them. They're actually going to be incorporating these on their website. So if you're shopping swag on their website, we would actually interact with a 3D version of these hats, use augmented reality even on your phone. And then again, of course, you can drop them into VR, which is really fun. So next slide. So yeah, this all is enabled through some really powerful compression algorithms. Again, just getting rid of a lot of that manual work that 3D artists don't like doing anyways, because you're a creator, you want to focus on the fun part, creating, not the optimization. Next slide. And again, it's all housed on a cloud 3D CMS to make it easy to keep track of products, and you can pull them in all different places, or use our API wherever else that you want them. Next slide. And then lastly, we do have a really premium 3D web viewer. So we've added in photo-based rendering techniques that are not capable today on web. Obviously, we work with clients like fashion clients like Adidas and Hugo Boss who need things to look amazing. And so we've been able to add in additional lighting effects to look more real that weren't possible on web. Next slide. So the whole idea is we've created this one-stop shop where you can upload existing manufacturing files and immediately get what you're on web. Next slide. With it, would love to hear what 3D files you're working with. Thank you.
Awesome. Let's hear it for Ashley. Thank you. That was fantastic. So thank you, Ashley. And next up,
Thank you.
Next up, we have Maret Thatcher from Argyle. Come on up.
Well, hello. It's so exciting to be here. It's good to get out of the house. I'm joking. So my name is Maret. I'm the CEO of Argyle. And when you build a building, you're doing on-the-spot manufacturing of a large, complex structure. On one job site in one day, you might have 10 different companies working together. Like imagine 10 different companies showing up at your office working on top of each other. That's the job site. You'll have everyone from Hello, yeah, it is. It's a bit. You'll have everyone doing HVAC. You'll have plumbers. You'll have people welding. Like this is the picture of them welding, which I loved because it was pink. You name it. We often don't appreciate how complex it will be. 35% of the work on a job is things like not building. It's finding the right documentation and unfortunately doing a lot of rework. And I'm just going to show you how we get a $50,000 error and how it happens all the time. This is just the one that happened to be there when I put it up on the job site too. So this is just a project north of Seattle. And when I arrived, Kevin, the project manager, and about 5 other leaders from other companies were figuring out what to do about this problem. And I asked them what happened. So this piece of duct got installed, and it's a big HVAC equipment piece, and it was done perfectly to plan. And then the carpenter came along and started installing the soffit. The soffit is the parallel structure you see right there. That's a carpentry piece. So the carpenter's going all around the building, installing this entire thing, and then gets to this room and goes, well, that's not going to work. That thing is in my way. And it's the kind of thing that happens on the job site all the time. Let's look at the documents they are looking at on the job site. This is a typical plumbing plan, one of several pages. Next slide. Again, the mechanical plan. And these documents are being created most of the time, and I can't speak for all construction, it's very different, but in large projects like this, they're being created in 3D modeling software like Revit, and they're spitting out 2D plans like this one. So let's go to the next slide and see what this looks like in a 3D version. That's those two plans combined into a 3D mode. And like most people, when you see this 3D mode and you know anything about augmented reality, you're like, this needs to happen, right? We should be able to see this stuff on site. So, next slide. That's what we did. This is a picture out of a HoloLens 1 looking at the ductwork in this next section that they're about to build. And our software gets it aligned and puts that data into context where it belongs so that they can accurately do field verifications and quality assurance. Next page. This is showing, from Kevin's view, walking on site.
Lines up nicely with that corner. Okay, so I didn't look at ductwork at all.
The tech kind of melts away. He's just like looking at his project.
Oh, okay, so they modeled the access zones. Oh, that's perfect. So access zone.
Okay, go to the next one. I love those meatballs and the wrestling people though. So Kevin's like, I need to be able to do this all the time, right? We need to be able to access my 3D model, anything that's modeled, I want to do it all the time. This means there's a really huge opportunity for those of us building construction technology. Compared to other industries that spend about 3% on their IT, construction is only spending 1.5, and that's really just because it's such a siloed and segmented field, and there hasn't been really a great solution for everyone. Augmented reality is uniquely key to that because it's tech that is actually out in the world where they're building. So we hope you'll follow along with us. Our beta is going to be available for projects this summer. We're looking for especially projects in the Northwest so we can support them and show off what we can do with that AR overlay. Thank you.
You know, using Pluto and bringing in some other tools and what that could look like maybe in your average workday.
So I think the thing that's really unlocked by this is, as I brought up the example around having this whiteboard, it's, you know, anytime you want to get together with people and collaborate and work on things together, and, you know, it means that you don't have to rely on any given platform or any given application to meet all your needs. You can bring in any WebXR app. And so I would say, you know, collaboration sessions, working together. I mean, we do it a lot too when we're going and exploring virtual worlds together. I mean, Pluto works alongside loading screens. So you can be going between different virtual worlds and still have Pluto running. And so right now in VR chat, there's an event going on called the Virtual Market 4, which is this crazy, huge, awesome like expo happening where there's more than 1,000 exhibitors all showing off virtual wares, virtual avatars, and these different things. And it's so easy to get lost because it's 44 virtual worlds. Pluto helps you stay connected and have that kind of private walkie-talkie with you the whole time.
Cool. Well, I can't wait. I can't wait until we're using these tools all together on a daily basis. I think that it's going to be a really exciting time and lots of multitasking in VR. So thank you, Forrest. And Pluto is going to be back near VNTANA by the bar here behind the auditorium if you want to learn more. And I think Jared's going to stick around as well, so you can chat with them then. All right. So next up we have Gaspard Giroud. Garou. I mixed the last name and the name of the company, Giroud, and the company is Garou. So Gaspard, if you want to come on up.
Hello, everyone. Can you let me know if you can hear me?
Loud and clear, sound great.
Okay, great. Hello, everybody. It's a little bit intimidating to see so many people. That's great, super exciting. So my name is Gaspard Giroud. I am the founder of Garou, a virtual reality platform. So maybe if we can go to the first slide. All right, so maybe to go straight to it, because we have a crowd of somewhat experts, the project that we're working on is quite similar to Altspace as its core. So to give you a sense of a framing of what we're working on. Can we go to the next slide? All right, so obviously in this context, like many of our friends in this industry, our product, can help with the problem of social distancing. We can go to the next frame. So we identified a couple of problems. One is that if you are creating very high visual fidelity content in virtual reality that is not gaming, you don't really have a great place to publish it, right? And also, we are noticing that there is a great growth in the virtual reality market. So we can go to the next frame. So the second problem we identify is that typical multi-user virtual reality platform are somewhat low fidelity or a little bit cartoony in the way they look, and we think that if you publish very high fidelity content, if you create high fidelity content, or if you are a brand, these platforms are not necessarily very suitable for your product, right? So we can go to the frame. So what we have built over the past 4 years is a high fidelity multi-user publishing platform. It means that creators from around the world can publish to it. Let's go to the next frame. All right, so one key component to what we do is that it is built upon the Unreal Engine, and this is because we are obsessed with visual quality. What is important to know is that we are just now this year opening the platform to creators around the world and enterprises, because the prototype is ready. And what is important to know is that Garou is scalable, and part of the reason it's scalable is because we became partner with Verizon and the 5G lab, and we're going to power Garou with 5G, making it scalable. We can go to the next frame. All right, so this is a shot taken inside one of the early spaces we built in Garou. That's a Tesla showroom. So it shows you the visual quality we can achieve in Garou. You can visit this today. In fact, this is available right away if you wanted to go there. And we can meet there. Go to next. This is a project we worked on for Macy's, the Macy's parade in Times Square. Let's go to next. This is the old Penn Station in New York. We put a DeLorean because you have to travel in time to go visit it. Let's go to next. This is the Oculus at the World Trade Center. We can go to next. This is an apartment in New York, show our capabilities in real estate. Let's go to next. This is the future Penn Station, which is under construction right now. That will be open in 2 years. Let's go to next. Back to the old Penn Station. We just love it. So one more. Let's go to next. This is the Brooklyn Bridge that we have in Garou as well. As you can see, the lower left corner, we have a camera there. So we always, take selfies and shoot each other with our partners or clients and our friends. Let's go to next. All right, so as I pointed out a little bit earlier, for the users, you can upload your content. Let's say if you created the Taj Mahal, a digital twin of the Taj Mahal, very high visual fidelity, we invite you to get in touch with us. We can push it to the platform. You make it multi-user. You can invite your friend. If you're an enterprise and you have amazing, your product in Unreal, We can, not only we support that, but we work with many partners to make that happen, and we can connect to the world. Let's go to next. All right, so for those interested in the business model, ultimately, it's a business model that, is similar to what Fortnite is. It's free, but you have in-apps features that you can purchase, so that these are microtransactions, or, some of the partners will pay to create content, which is what has been supporting the platform so far. Let's go to next. We're going to skip that frame. There was a presentation in London where we had an international meeting in the Oculus at the World Trade Center with multiple cities. That was 2 years ago. Let's go to next. All right, so those are our partners. Epic Games took notice of what we were doing 2 years ago. They invited us to present in London. They called our project Best in Class. The 5G Lab awarded us a $500,000 prize late last year to become a partner to power Garou with 5G. Extremely exciting partnership. NVIDIA is working with us, and we're working with them to actually implement edge computing and compute on the server side. And finally, we just recently started participating in the independent software vendor for Oculus. Let's go to next. All right, so these are our clients. Part of what's cool about it is that they're a little bit from everywhere. We have clients in Japan, Germany, France, US, and Italy, just in that frame. Let's go to next. So these are some Polaroid shots that were taken inside Garou. You see a little delegation from NVIDIA visiting the other day. We were inside the Museum of Natural History, not too far for those who are in Manhattan today. We can go to next. All right, so this was the first space that is third-party content. We picked up a studio that was creating really high-fidelity virtual reality environments, and we invited them to publish. They were the first one to publish, so it's part of the platform. Now you can visit that. Let's go to next. We can skip that frame. It's where we stand in a landscape, but it's all, for the sake of time, we can go already to next. All right, this frame is somewhat important because very early on, we identify sort of like 3 different ages for our roadmap. The first one was build the foundation of the platform. And that was the proof of concept, making sure it has enough content, and we can start publishing people's project, and that ended just like at the end of last year. We're entering what we call the builder's age, where we're growing the world with other with content creators and enterprises, and we're currently working with multiple partners to start growing the world. And ultimately, we think that it will be really open to consumers around 2 or 3 years from now, right? When the type of VR that we are all experiencing is now in mainstream, and that everybody has access to it from home. And so that's where really that becomes more like a social media network. Let's go to the next frame. All right, so this frame unfortunately does not represent accurately our team. We have just as many women as we have men, and I'm very happy and proud about that. It's also a very diverse team when it comes to nationalities, background, and it's just a very diverse team. And that is pretty much it. We can go to the last frame, I believe. That's right. Well, I thank you all very much for listening to this presentation on Garou.
And last but certainly not least, we have Katie Kelly from the very platform we are currently in, AltspaceVR. Just going to tell you a little bit more of the story and the vision. Take it away, Katie.
What up, Altspace? Hello. There's a lot of you I haven't met yet. Can everybody hear me okay? Awesome. Woo! Well, I was going, usually when I have this conversation, I'm like, so AltspaceVR is a social VR platform. You use a VR headset, you put it on your face, you see yourself as avatars, but you already know that. And it's just really exciting to see so many people here and so many presenters that are in a similar space trying to answer that question of, okay, if you can't be there together, how do we try to transcend those barriers and do what we can to feel like you're there? And that has become a whole lot more important after COVID. I cannot tell you how much my job has changed over the past 2 months. I've gotten emails about my prom was canceled and we're trying to figure out how to make sure people can actually hang out together. I lost my job and I'm trying to figure out how to connect to like people and network. People that are, their teams are separate and now they feel like they don't have a way to easily just chat and get to know each other. And I'm so grateful that, I mean, I'll be really honest, there's a lot more things that are more important right now. Our essential workers, our grocery clerks, our nurses, all the people that are making sure that we're all okay. But I have so much pride that I do get to work on something that helps at least a little bit. And I've heard from so many people just that this is a place where you found some connections, the ability to still learn, even just looking out and seeing a crowd where nowhere in the world can you do that right now is inspiring to me. So I just want to tell you a quick story about what AltspaceVR is, and we can do the next slide. You know a lot of it already. I've been with AltspaceVR for about 4 years now, 4.5 years. I joined a month before we launched on Gear VR. So when I joined, it was an empty room and I saw my friend Tony that was working at this like crazy VR startup. And he's like, just put on the headset, I'll meet you in VR. And that was it. But then a month later, we launched on Gear VR and there were people coming in from France and Germany and Japan and all over the US. And I was able to have this conversation and I was like, whoa, like this is something important. And over the years, our focus initially was how do you just make people feel present in virtual reality, especially focused on the lowest common denominator headset. So it was really important to us that we worked on the Gear VR, the Oculus Go, then the Quest, the Rift, the Vive, the Windows Mixed Reality headset, because that allowed us to get a crowd in VR at a time where a lot of people didn't have headsets. And so by focusing on really simple graphics, on really simple avatars, and don't worry, new avatars are coming. Shh, pretty soon we'll have an announcement about how we will have a lot more customizability. Oh my God, those words with so many syllables. A lot more ways to be yourself in VR. But to get there, we had to make sure that we had really low fidelity graphics so that we could get more people in VR, have a better experience, so we could see what do people actually want this platform to be. And that's really, to me, the secret sauce of AltspaceVR. We have learned over the years, being one of the first in the game, if not the first in the game, to try to ask that question about what social VR is. And we've been able to learn from you. And that's one reason we focus on this idea of events, what I'm doing right now. And the next slide, please. That really, my hope is, I'm an idealist. If anybody comes to my mingle and chill events every Wednesday, I've been doing this event for the past 3.5 years. What I'm hoping that AltspaceVR can do is through events, through the container of events, people can share themselves in a way that is more authentic than potentially writing a comment on YouTube or going on Facebook and sharing an idealized version of your life. What if we could make AltspaceVR a place where instead of having asynchronous conversations, me on Friday night and I'm talking to you on Saturday morning, what if we could go in here and start talking about things we care about? And it's not perfect. We have a lot of work to do, but I'm so proud of the community that we've developed of people that are interested in that idea of being like, how do I share myself? How do I find people that want to talk about common interests? Because how do adults like kind of get along in the real world? They go to bars, they go to meetups, they talk about things they care about, they go to places where they learn something. So what if we could emulate that here, give people a space to be able to share themselves really easily. We try to make events really easy to start. And my hope is here, if there's anything you take away, me on stage right now, all these amazing people that are talking, they're just using the platform we built. If you care about the same thing, host an event. It can be as stupid as, I don't know, what you learned to cook in quarantine this week. That's not stupid, that actually is amazing, and I'd love to know what you're all cooking. But it doesn't need to be a big deal. It's just like, hey, come in here, start a dialogue, start a conversation, create community. One of my favorite stories from AltSpace is I started an LGBTQ meetup probably, again, 4 years ago, that now has kept on, and I think they're having the 3-year anniversary tonight, run by Chris, who took it over from me. And that community has found a place, potentially they live on the outskirts of the world, and they've found their community in VR. We also have VR Church on Sunday, where a lot of people have found their community. I think that through the power of you, and if you're here, and you're inquisitive, and you're excited about VR and the potential, I hope everybody here takes away like one thing, that you don't need to go to great lengths to share your ideas and to make this new world of technology better. The place that we hope to fill is to be a really exciting place where you can go and feel like your time was of value when you take off your headset, and that you learned something, you met somebody, you shared something new and exciting, and maybe shared something new and exciting from that other social VR app that you went to, and you came into AltSpace and went, damn, did you see that? So really, really, really think about our platform as a place to share your content through events. And I'm curious too, what is the next slide? Let's find out together. Woohoo! So yeah, all the different versions of things that people have done while here. We have almost 200 events a week, by people just like you, putting together really awesome ideas. We do have a world building community. It's a super beta feature, but if you're excited to test it out and build your own world, there's some incredible stuff out there. We have a lot of different tools for events like Mute All, which, sorry, I feel like Ursula taking away your voices, but it allows you to be able to talk to lots of people and have question and answers. We can have unlimited amount of people here. We have a technology called Front Row where we basically copy this space endlessly and then copy me endlessly so that we can all see and hear the same content, and you can have thousands of people experiencing the same event. There's a lot of stuff I think we're thinking through about just what's an awesome meeting and experience and conference in AltSpace. Hopefully this is getting close. It's really simple. I'm on stage, really simple avatar, but I'm in my downstairs office with the headset on, looking at you with my actual eyes. You're seeing my actual emotions. I feel like I'm actually here. And that to me has a little bit of magic. So I'm really excited to see what all of you do next with this platform that my team has put so many hours and time into, and a lot of love, but mostly we're inspired by all the love that you bring back into it. So whatever is next in the presentation, I'm just happy to take some questions, but just really, really grateful for all of you making this new technology awesome.
Yay, thank you, Katie. And thank you everyone for being such an incredible audience and your awesome questions. And like I said, please stick around. Just a quick review. Oh, nice, there go the risers. I love the magic of VR. So it's such a seamless transition. So you can see really clearly right behind you there is VNTANA. Pluto's off to my left side of the room. And then Argyle will be just through the exit door on the right. And AltSpace and Garou are straight behind us on the mezzanine level, and then Verizon is right in the lobby where you came in. So feel free to migrate to any companies that you want to chat with especially, or just stick around and hang out. Thanks again.